And we are on air.
Hi guys, my name is Brianna and today I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks if you're going on a cruise. So let's get right into the video. So I recently went on my first ever cruise and I learned a whole bunch, so I thought I would share with you guys what I would do differently if I did it again. Also, my videos from that trip will be coming shortly, but they're going to take a little bit of time to go through and edit because I took a lot of footage, so keep an eye out for those. But for now, we got this. Okay, so the first mistake that I made was packing outfits for each day. And while it seems weird to say that you don't need outfits for each day, it's the truth. Most of the days that you are on the cruise, you're actually going to just wear your swimsuit and some sort of cover-up. So a lot of the days I ended up just wearing shorts and a bathing suit, or shorts and a bathing suit and a shirt over it, or a cover-up or something like that. Not necessarily full-fledged outfits with like crop tops and stuff like that. I packed very summery clothes, but I wasn't thinking about the activities we were doing. So even though I had bathing suits packed and I had outfits packed, I was very overpacked because I didn't need most of those outfits because I was combining certain pieces I had with the bathing suits to make outfits for each day. That being said, I did forget to pack something. I packed one and I ended up needing more than that. I thought all the outfits I wore were gonna be cute, summery, good for the heat, so I wanted to show more skin, and I didn't really pack t-shirts or button-down t-shirts or anything like that because I was thinking of wanting to wear crop tops. Big mistake, because almost right away I got a awful sunburn and it hurt to be out in the sun with it, so I needed button-down t-shirts to wear over my cute outfits I wanted to wear. That way the sun wasn't on my back and shoulders. I ended up on 4 of the days wearing shirts like that. 1 of the days was the one that I packed for myself. The other 3 days were shirts I stole from my dad, and I actually only stole 2 shirts from him. I ended up repeating one of them. So even though I was overpacked, I was missing button-down shirts, which would have been so helpful because when I did wear them, I didn't usually end up wearing them like they were my outfit. I wore them almost like they were a sweater over my outfit. So I still wore whatever I wanted to wear, I just had that on over it. And thank goodness my dad had some extra shirts, or I would have been absolutely miserable being out in the sun with such a terrible sunburn and nothing to cover it up. That being said, there are 2 things I did pack, but I almost didn't, and I would have regretted if I didn't. So I wanted to throw that in there to make sure that anyone who's going on a cruise brings these things, because you really do need it. First of all, sunglasses. It just completely slipped my mind. I wasn't gonna pack them at all, and then the day I was leaving, I realized I didn't pack sunglasses, and I searched everywhere for my 1 pair of sunglasses that I had and packed those. Sunglasses are a must, or you will be like that in all of your pictures and you will regret it. So pack sunglasses that you will be happy with in pictures, because you'll be more happy to have something covering your eyes than to have you squinting and making a horrible face in all your pictures. Second thing I did end up bringing but almost didn't and would have regretted is a hat. Everywhere I go that's out in the sun, my family, my parents, my grandparents, I'm always getting pestered to wear a hat. I never wear a hat, never bring a hat. We're going to the beach, bring a hat, bring a hat. And I always say, why would I bring a hat if I'm going to be in the water and I'm not going to wear a hat in the water because I want to go underwater? And they still say, bring a hat, bring a hat, bring a hat. And I literally almost never wear a hat. Well, I did pack a hat because I ended up by accident getting a very cute hat just a couple of days before the trip. And I was like, all right, this is perfect. I might as well bring it. I didn't wear it. Then I got that awful sunburn. Got such bad sunburn all along here. It's mostly healed now. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it started peeling so bad. It looked like I had awful massive dandruff, and I immediately started wearing that hat every moment after that I was out in the sun. So when you go and you see my photos, you can kind of see the moment where I was like, oh yeah, I should have been wearing a hat, and I will wear a hat for the rest of the trip. If you want it to match your outfits, you can bring multiple hats. but don't forget a hat. And don't be too stubborn to bring a hat because you don't normally wear them and think you won't need it. You will need it because that hurt. Next thing that I didn't really realize was that at all the ports, they're very touristy areas, and not only do they accept US cash, sometimes they only accept US cash. So I was in my head thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have to pay by card, or I'm gonna have to get money that's for, you know, wherever it is that you're going. No. Where the cruise drops you off, they all accept US currency, and in some cases only accept US currency. It's really strange. I actually had a hard time in one of the places trying to find currency. So I have this thing where every country I go to, I like to get a bill of their kind of currency so I can have money from everywhere that I've been. And we were in Mexico for 2 different days. First one was in Cozumel. We actually didn't end up going to Cozumel. The port was Cozumel, but the excursion was a ferry ride to somewhere else. But besides the point, we had a full day that day, so I wasn't thinking about getting money. The second day was Costa Maya, and we didn't have an excursion booked, so I said, perfect, that's when I will get my pesos. No one had pesos. We had to keep walking around and asking people because everywhere was only US dollars. So you definitely want to bring cash. So if you see something you want to buy, you have money to buy it. Don't like think that you're not going to be able to use cash. You will. Another thing that I kind of had an idea of going into it, but I definitely severely underestimated, was the amount of free alcohol you will be able to get while you're on a cruise. I had drinks every day of the cruise, and only some of them were purchased. If you want to get drinks, you will get drinks. All you have to do is keep an eye on the cruise ship's itinerary, and I walked around with my grandmother and went to the places that, like an art show or a jewelry showing, and got free champagne. Or for my dad, we went and we found a free whiskey tasting. They have so much free alcohol if you just look at the schedule and see when it's going to be available and go there. I knew that I might get a free drink or two, but I definitely severely underestimated it. I ended up getting 5 free glasses of champagne in one of the days, and actually, believe it or not, on an excursion, I ended up getting 6 shots of tequila, plus walking around the shopping center after the excursion, ended up getting tastings of other things, other drinks too. I can't remember everything that I tasted, but yeah, it was a lot. So if you like to drink, you don't need to like worry about it. You will get drinks. Next thing I only kind of realized was to bring fancy clothes. People told me that one of the nights you wear fancy clothes, and that's usually something called like Captain's Night or Royal Night or something like that. I had a vague idea of it. I did bring a semi-fancy outfit. I had nice dress pants. I wasn't aware our cruise actually had 2 fancy nights. I was only dressed up for one of them. And second of all, I didn't realize how fancy they meant exactly. There were people in dresses fancier than you would wear to prom, and like taking the most gorgeous, stunning photos, like decked out like more than like at a wedding. People wearing full suits and tuxedos, and you do not have to do that. Like, it is your vacation, it's your trip, you dress how you want to dress. If you want to just wear your bathing suit and shorts on those days, go for it. That's what I did on one of the days. But if you are one of those people who like being a part of the dress up stuff, it's very fancy clothes that people wear. So really, when it says it's wear your best, they truly mean wear your best. I was heavily surprised by that. So I know we had one night that was like a formal night and one that was like a wear your best night. I don't really know what the difference is between those 2 nights, but I ended up only dressing quote unquote fancy for the wear your best night. And again, I wasn't fancy at all in comparison to these other people. And also, some cruise lines have fancy nights and some don't. Like, my parents have been on cruises previously, whereas I haven't, and the ones they went on didn't have fancy clothes nights, so they didn't know to bring fancy clothes. But meanwhile, I brought fancy clothes because I heard from people to bring fancy clothes. So, I don't know. Another thing to help stop you from overpacking, you actually don't need towels at all. I kind of thought it was like, yeah, there will be towels in the room just like there would be at a hotel, but I would want to have my own towel to bring to the beach off the ship or to the pool on the ship or something like that. You actually get towels in your room and then a different kind of towel out by the pools and stuff like that. But also when you're leaving the ship on port days, you can check out towels to take off the ship with you. I didn't know any of that, so I had 2 towels taking up space in my suitcase that didn't need to be there, didn't use them once, so you do not need to pack towels. Also, as with your luggage, when you first get to the cruise to check in the first day, when you're home you get a tag that you put on it so that when they take your luggage they know what room you're in, where to put your stuff. The vibe of it when you're getting there and they're taking your luggage kind of feels like it's just what's supposed to happen and you just have to give them your luggage and that's that. You don't. You can keep your luggage with you if you'd like, and I actually suggest doing it. Will it be a few hours of having to lug your stuff around? Yes, but if you give them your luggage, you might be stuck without your luggage all day. So we got our luggage around dinner time, but they said that some people didn't get their luggage until upwards of 7 or 8 o'clock. So you go the whole first day without your luggage if you give it to them. So if you are looking around the ship and you want to go swimming and you don't have your bathing suit because it's in your luggage, you can't go swimming. And it's just kind of frustrating to not be able to get settled on your first day. You know, you get to go into your room and look around the ship, but you can't really do anything or be dressed properly, especially if you took a plane ride, because we took a plane ride and we didn't want to have any checked luggage on the plane just for money purposes. So we did carry on, and that means you have less space. So I wore my boots instead of packing them because I wanted to save space in my luggage. I wore my sweatshirt, I wore my leggings. Then you get onto the cruise and you are dying of sweat, but you can't change your shoes, you can't, because your luggage, you don't have it yet. So I suggest either you have a smaller bag that you're going to carry with you that's going to have your bathing suit in it, change your shoes in it, and then you can put the shoes you were wearing into your room, or you just don't get your luggage checked at all and you carry it with you and you just have to wait those couple of hours to have access to the room. Another thing I didn't really think of, I brought long pants because I knew I needed it for certain things, but I didn't think about warmth, because you're on a hot tropical vacation, you're not thinking of that kind of thing, but you actually do want warm clothes because since it is so hot outside, a lot of the indoor things in the cruise are so heavily air conditioned that it can get uncomfortably cold. So if you're going to see a show, whether it's ice skating or a musical or anything like that that's indoors, you're gonna want a sweatshirt and long pants so you are not freezing. And even though it's super hot outside, you're not gonna be comfortable when you're getting inside and sitting there for an hour or 2 hours shivering. So even though I'm giving all these tips to pack less stuff, this is something that you might not think to pack, that you do want to pack warmer clothes. So you need options for outdoor and options for indoor and casual options and fancy options, but also you don't need as much clothes as you think you need. I know it all sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it's all true. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got for now. Like I said, this was my first ever cruise, so I did learn a bit, I did do some things wrong, and now I know better for next time, but it was a fantastic trip. And if you guys have more suggestions or you've been on more variety of cruises and some are different than others and you want to comment down below your suggestions for people who might be cruising, let us know. But for now, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!